Hi, and welcome to Hypnotize Me, the podcast about hypnosis, transformation, and healing. This is Dr. Elizabeth Bonet, and I'm your host. This podcast is not a substitute for mental health treatment, nor should it be. If you need therapy or hypnotherapy, please seek a trained professional. I do hypnosis all over the world, so if you'd like to learn more about me, you can do that at my website, drlizhypnosis.com. That's DRLIZ hypnosis.com. Now on to our episode. Good morning and Happy New Year. This is Dr. Liz and I'm your host of the Hypnotize Me podcast. I just want to wish you all a very, very happy coming year. If you followed the podcast for a while, I always air an episode about goals near the beginning of the year. I'm a big believer in goals and setting intentions. Goals and intentions are slightly different, though. I was on this intention setting group that Joan Sotkin ran. She runs the Prosperity Place podcast, and I've done groups of hers in the past. She's excellent. I had her on the podcast in episode 69, and then I was interviewed on her podcast on episode 340. That tells you how long she's been doing a podcast, right? 340. But you can go and listen to that, the Prosperity Show podcast, if you want to hear more about it. But she ran a group recently for setting intentions for 2019. And she really described the difference between intention and goal as an intention is that you don't plan out the way to get there. You don't say all the actions you're going to take. You just intend the outcome and then surrender the outcome to the universe. And the universe can be anything. It can be your higher power. It can be a sense of the universe. It can be a heartfelt prayer to the universe. And people define intention all kinds of different ways, but that's basically how she defines it. Versus a goal is more action-oriented. Right? You're writing down what you can do. And I always say you write it as if it's already happened. And then you're writing these steps to take to get to that goal. Now, I think both processes are wonderful. I really do. I loved how Joan ran an actual group to set an intention. There's an interview she did with Lynn McTaggart, where Lynn McTaggart talks about the power of a group and how when you join together in a group and you say intentions or you say goals, then you're more likely to get an outcome there. And you can see this everywhere, right? Like when people talk about weight loss programs, which I'm not a fan of, but almost always it's like groups, right? They want you to join together in a group. Like, let's motivate each other. Let's get together and work out and exercise because we're social creatures. That's what we are. We do rely on each other and support each other to get to where we go. And it's like when you think about the Budweiser horses, I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with those, but they're these huge horses. They're actually called Clydesdale horses. And a Clydesdale horse can pull an amazing amount of weight. Okay, it's something like if you have something on wheels that they can get going, it's like 11,000 pounds, which is almost 5,000 kilos. So they can pull an amazing amount of weight, and they could do that alone. But when you put two together, they don't double that. They can actually pull 3 times the amount of weight together, which is just amazing. But that is how I see what people can do together, right? So I sometimes use this analogy in my office too. It's like, okay, alone, you can do this, this, and this, and you can accomplish this, this, and this. But together, we're not going to just help you get there. We're not going to just have you accomplish this. We're going to accomplish so much more. We're going to explore so much more. We're going to do so much more healing, not just times 2 people. There's this third element that happens, right? Which fast forward someone's healing and transformation. So this intention group that Joan did, to get back to the point, was this group to where, okay, we're coming together, we're saying our intention, and you can do this at home with a loved one, or let's say some friends, or if you want to try an online group, I know she's going to run them in the future. You can get on our newsletter and stay subscribed. I've thought about doing one myself, but haven't gotten that together yet. We'll see what happens. But you get together in a group and you say your intentions. And then everyone just imagines that happening for you for a minute or two, not very long at all. And they picture what that's going to look like for you. And you go around and you do that with everyone, right? And then you go about your way. Okay. So perhaps you talk about it, perhaps you don't. But what they found is that when you do that, then people tend to accomplish those intentions, accomplish those goals much faster in unexpected ways. So there's some kind of spiritual component that happens there, that it's like, all right, this is going to happen in some unexpected ways, not exactly how we think it's going to. And that's often been true in my life. I've often set goals and then write them down and completely forget about them. And then years later, go back and I'm looking through an old journal, or I'm looking through an old list of what I've accomplished in the year. And there it is. I've done it. Not in the way that I expected, but it happened. So I really believe in the power of intention and goals. And feel free to send me yours if you like. Email them to me and I'll write you back and say, okay, I have now imagined you doing this, right? I have now imagined you doing this. Like, you have my support. I really love hearing from my listeners. So that would be a lovely exercise of service that I could give to you if you want to do that. So upcoming on the podcast. First of all, there's a sale in January. I know I'm supposed to start with that, but I'm just not always the best marketer. There is a 50% off sale for January on all my downloads. So I have one to reduce pain, chronic pain. It's excellent. I have a mindful eating and loving to exercise downloads. People love those. Absolutely. I get such good feedback on them. I listen to them myself when I need a little bit of motivation. There's one to prepare you for cesarean birth. That's a very popular one. I don't think there's anything else out there like it, actually. But it reduces complications, it speeds healing, it speeds your recovery, and increases your bonding with your child. There's a face massage one, and I think that's it. I may have covered all of them. I'm not sure. But go look on the page. It's under shop on my website. And the actual link is drlizhypnosis.com/downloads. And you'll see up at the top a 50% off coupon. It's January 2019. So that is running through the end of January 2019, 50% off on my downloads. And you get them immediately. So you click through to my provider, you pay, and you can download them immediately. All right, people, upcoming on the podcast is episodes about past life regression. I'm very excited about those, and some wonderful interviews. There's one with Oren J. Sofer that's coming up. There's another one with two women that run a hypnosis program, and I'm very happy about all the upcoming interviews. There's another one that's an NLP expert, neuro-linguistic programming. So we're going to talk about the differences between NLP and hypnosis. And there's some episodes coming up about sexuality and sex and intimacy. So I'm really looking forward to the year on the podcast. Before I go and update on my eyes, several of you have been asking, and you've noticed that normally my cycle is 3 podcasts and then take a week off. But I took 2 weeks off this time because of my eyes, and they are doing much, much better. My time on the computer has increased. It's not back to normal, but it's more like 30 minutes, sometimes an hour versus like 10 to 15 minutes. So it feels like a huge difference to me. And I have some complications in my right eye, but the doctor is handling that and taking care of it, and I'm trusting that, and I'm doing daily hypnosis to quicken that healing as well. So I'm asking for your intention for me for quick healing and for that swelling to go down in my right eye. So if you can imagine me with just wonderful, perfect vision and no complications anymore, that would be wonderful. I really would appreciate that. If you're more scientific minded, it's macular edema, which basically means the swelling of the macular, which can happen after cataract surgery. It's not a common complication, but it happens. So if you can give an intention that my macular is just perfect and exactly the way it needs to be, I would appreciate that. I really would. All right, people, that is it for today. Have a happy, happy new year. I really wish for you all the healing in the world, everything you need this year, happy, healthy, and feeling content in your lives. I'm imagining that for all of my listeners right now. All right, peace. I hope you truly enjoyed today's episode. Remember that you can get free hypnosis downloads over at my website, drlizhypnosis.com, DRLIZ hypnosis.com. I work all over the world doing hypnosis. So if you're interested in working with me, please schedule a free consultation over at my website, and we'll see what your goals are and if I can be of service to you in helping you reach them. Finally, if you liked today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast or tell a friend. That way, more and more people learn about the power of hypnosis.